Greetings, loyal citizens of the Empire, and you Republic types are welcome to join us as well. I am Darth Valak. This is my level 50 PvP guide for new level 50 PvP players. This guide is not intended to teach you any combat tactics. It's all about making your PvP experience as a new level 50 more enjoyable, and also to give you the tools you need to make an impact right away, so you're not just getting steamrolled by the battle masters and the heavily geared guys out there. And let's get started. Step one, or tip one, is no mouse clicking. If you're using your mouse to click your abilities as you go into combat, you are costing yourself very valuable time. It's a very inefficient way to go about PvPing and really any combat in general. Now is the perfect time to start getting used to using your keyboard, or for myself, I use the Razer Naga mouse. But find yourself some kind of tool that gives you hotkeys for all your abilities. If you're using the mouse, you're really going to be killing yourself in the long run here. This is going to be a duel, what you're seeing here, with one of my guild mates, where I'm doing nothing but mouse clicking. I outgear this guy substantially. I'm in full champion with a couple pieces of Battle Master. He has, I think, 2 Centurion pieces, and the rest is pretty subpar level 50 gear. So in the first one there, I did nothing but mouse click. It took me a little while. It was very cumbersome. I wasn't able to move around like I'd like to. And the second one here, he actually manages to get the jump on me, but you're going to see I'm much more mobile. I'm able to use that mobility to give him fits when he's trying to hit me. Because I'm able to use my hotkeys for all my abilities, I can use everything else in my mouse to keep myself looking around and keep myself pivoting and moving. And again, it's so much more efficient, guys. If you look at the ending health of that duel versus the first one, you'll see that it was about he did about half as much damage in the second one, because I'm able to be mobile, and of course because it's just that much quicker. I use hotkeys for top and bottom and left. Quick slot bars there. You can bind left, right, top, bottom, however you like. Myself, I don't have enough abilities to fill them all up, but at least abilities that I'm going to use. So it's very easy to set these up. Just jump into your keybind settings and go in there and use your 1 through 10 on your keyboard, and then use Shift and 1 through 10, Control and 1 through 10, whatever's comfortable for you. But trust me, guys, make it happen. It's worth it. Number 2 on my list is going to be gear. I'm not talking about PvP gear here, guys. I'm talking about maximizing your PvE gear for PvP play. This means level 50 purple mods, getting the best gear that you possibly can without having PvP gear before you queue up. If you don't do this, you're gonna have a miserable time queuing. You're gonna get 2 and 3 shotted by guys. It's just not fun. So here's some folks queuing up with some gear that's just just way subpar. I'm not the kind of guy who's ever going to sit there and tell you that you have to leave a war zone because your gear sucks. What I'm trying to do is give you the avenue, or give you the information you need, so that it doesn't suck and that you will actually enjoy your time. This last slide actually is a picture of a person who actually took the time to do this and has the good mods in their gear, as you can see. I'm not going to go in a lot of depth about how to get the gear that you need, or what the best way is to prepare yourself. There's a guide actually on the official forums in the PvP section, posted by Andante Fist. This guy posted a great guide, very in-depth. Guys, go read this. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video. That's all I'm going to say about gear, but trust me, read this. It is worth your time. Alright, so you're not mouse clicking. We've got you in the best gear you can have without having PvP gear. Now it's time to talk a little bit about tactics. I'm not going to teach you anything about combat. What I am going to tell you is that you have got to focus on the objective in these war zones. So many times I see people come in here, and it's not exclusive to new players, guys. New players, experienced players. I mean, everybody has a temptation to do it. Don't turn these war zones into deathmatch. They're not. You cannot win these matches if all you're doing is focusing on killing people. You have got to actually attempt to capture the objectives. You will be surprised how many times that you may think that I'm a new level 50, I can't have any influence. Well, if you've got the decent, if you've got the gear that we talked about, and you've got decent enough stuff, you can actually make an impact in these war zones. And this is where you do it, by making sure that you apply yourself in the correct place at the correct time. If it's a Civil War match like this one, focus on capturing a node, or defending a node that you have. Call your incomings when you have them coming. Same goes for Voidstar. Guard the doors. Call your incomings when you need help. Sometimes all that gear you've got, all it really does for you is give you a few more seconds to survive and call for help. But if you do that, you've done your job. So focus on the objective. Don't get hung up. Don't make it a death match. It's not. If it's hut ball, get on. If they have the ball, get on the ball carrier. If you have the ball, get with your ball carrier, get in front of him ready to receive a pass, or do what you have to do to clear the way for him so he can get in there and score. really there's not a lot else to say except just make sure that when you're in these war zones, you're focused on the objective and not focused on trying to get a bunch of kills for yourself. Last but not least, guys, teamwork. The group is greater than the sum of its parts. If you try to try to win a war zone on your own, you're not going to have much success. These war zones are built specifically so that you can't win them by yourself. There's got to be a group acting as a team to make it happen. I see some people will gel really well and they'll work as a team very well, and then something will happen. The opponent will score, or they'll score a point, or they'll get out ahead, and they'll decide that, hey, we're winning, we don't have to do this anymore, and they'll quit. Guys, teamwork goes from start to finish of the war zone. Don't give up on it just because they score. Don't give up on it just because you get a lead. You've got to keep it going. You've got to, at all times, be looking at the objective, see what it is you can do to help contribute there, and see, who else is also looking at the objective, and figure out a way to work with those guys and make it happen. You will find that you will win way, way more when you are working as a group than you will trying to do things as an individual. Keep those things in mind, guys. That's really what I've got for you. None of this was groundbreaking. None of it's earth-shattering. This is all pretty much common sense stuff. Hopefully, most of this stuff is stuff you thought about on your own, but maybe you just didn't realize that this was a focus. That gear guide that I gave you that's going to be in the comments of this video is worth its weight in gold. I wish I'd have had that when I first turned level 50, because I was getting rocked pretty bad, and I just didn't realize where I could go get some of this stuff. But pay attention to that, guys. Do what you can to get the best stuff that you can possibly get, and when you get to these war zones as a new level 50, you can make an impact, and it can be a positive impact. But it's going to take a little bit of work in advance on your part. Don't be afraid to put that in. Maybe you don't queue up for a couple days because you're working on assembling some of that gear. Trust me, in the long run, it's well worth it. So hopefully you guys found some use out of this. Feel free to leave me a comment. Feel free to subscribe. We've got our podcast coming up this weekend, so be sure to check that out. Part 2 will be coming up. Part 2 is going to focus more on how to make your PvP time more efficient, how to accomplish as much as you can with as little time as possible. So, guys, check out our website. You can follow us on Twitter, and check out the podcast. It'll be coming out soon. Thanks a lot, and peace is a lie.